Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your watch along for Manchester United against Fulham. The team news is in, we've got half an hour to go to kick off. I hope you're all doing very well. Are you happy with that team? Onana not in goal as predicted, but no Šeško up front. Look, I can't say I'm absolutely surprised by this team. Let me just get it up on the screen for you. Yeah, I can't say I'm absolutely surprised by it. I think there's Šeško. That's the only place he's going to appear today, certainly in relation to the starting lineup. But where is it? Let's go with that. And let me just pause that in. So yeah, that's the lineup there. They've got Cunha as a 10, Mount and Burmo. And they'll probably move around a little bit, won't they? I like Ahmad at right wing back. I like the fact that he's done what I said he'd do. You know, it just shows you yet again that we've got these journalists who haven't got a bloody clue hinting that Onana's going to be in the team. I don't think he was ever going to be in the team, if I'm completely honest. I think that was, you know, I think you've got to start to, at our age now with Amorim, you've got to start to understand the coach. And I think that last week when he said that Onana was available and he didn't pick him, I was absolutely convinced that he wouldn't pick him today. Obviously, I didn't want to say that because, you know, you never, you know, I'm not WhatsApping him, but I just think when you look at what's happening, I think he was going to pick Binder. The way he reacted to the journalist after the game last week when they was criticised, the fact that Onana was available, the fact that we're looking at Lemens, I think this is really good because when Lemens comes in, he'll go straight in goal. Onana's done at Manchester United, and that's what you want, a strong manager, and he has been really strong. Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, Onana, Rasmus to a certain extent as well. You know, he's been very, very strong. So would you have started a striker? Yeah, I would have started Šeško. I mean, I presume this is just the same old problem at Manchester United where we've got I think, you know, it reminds me of the Ten Hag days, not playing Šeško. It reminds me of the Ten Hag days because this happened with him. There's been so many problems with injuries at Manchester United that I think that they do listen to the fitness department who don't want injuries because it comes down on them. So I think that we have become a bit of a laptop club. Amorim mentioned it a lot last season. Ten Hag was like it. If computer says no, we don't do it. So I think because Šeško hasn't had the pre-season, we're going over the top. I would have started him. Look at Arsenal. Gyökeres isn't match fit. They're still picking him. He's getting the goals. I think it's a risk because the longer you're not picking him, psychologically people are going, well, he hasn't scored. But if he's not starting, how's he going to score? So look, we have got a midweek game against Grimsby. It's not the end of the world, but I would like to have seen him start really. But I think this just comes down to fitness, doesn't it? At the end of the day. I'm in my BoohooMan t-shirt. I love it, actually. Slightly oversized. I do like these sort of things, especially for a match day. What are we talking about? We've got a special offer for you with BoohooMan today. So to celebrate the launch of the Premier League, BoohooMan is running an exclusive competition for our viewers. One lucky winner will win an £800 voucher. So don't miss out on the season launch prize. Just register via the link in the description and you could be our big winner. Also, when you use the code Goldbridge at checkout, you can enjoy an extra 10% off on top of the current side-wide discount. So if there's 50% off already, use the code Goldbridge, you'll get more off. Don't miss out on the competition and the discount. It's only open for a limited time, so register today and grab your chance to win. But more importantly, don't forget the link in the description because there is an £800 voucher which is going to one of you exclusively, available today through the link in the description. And just for a little bit of trivia as well, can you guess this player? I was born on August 8th, 78. I started my professional career at Metz. I moved to Fulham in 2000, helping them win the First Division in 2001. In 2004, I joined Manchester United, where I was part of the squad that won the League Cup and the Premier League in 2007 and 8, and the Champions League in 2008. Due to my injury problems, I joined Everton on a pay-as-you-play deal, even offering to train without being paid if I was injured. And after Everton, I played for Tottenham, Sunderland and Lazio before retiring in 2013. I would have got that on the Fulham bit. It's funny, I would get that on the older bit, not the recent bit. I wouldn't know about the Everton or the Tottenham or the Sunderland or the Lazio, to be honest. Of course, it is Louis Saha. Check it out, 10% off with BoohooMan, and I tell you what, the t-shirts are really good. This is really good for a match day. It's got lots of room in it. I'm very happy with it. But you can get an £800 voucher exclusive to a United Stand viewer. Link in the description. Get registered. You could be winning that £800 voucher. Thank you very much to BoohooMan. So I just want to go through some of your comments. I'm fuming with this. I'm fuming, says Angry Brit, with this false 9 BS. Sesko is for a purpose or not? Look, I wouldn't get too stressed about it. If I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't get too stressed about it because I do feel that we have got plenty of time for Sesko to come into the team. I'm not going to lie, I really would have liked it to be today, and I am disappointed. But the positives are, there's no... I mean, I suppose there are positives and negatives. You've got Ahmad playing at right wing back, which I think is really good. Sorry, there was something wrong with the stream there. I'm just typing it while I'm doing it. Yeah, you've got Ahmad playing in the midfield, which I think is really right wing back, which I think is really good. You've got Anana not playing in goal, which I think in the long term will be good for Lemens, because with no Lemens in the team, I think that with Lemens coming in, I think that's going to be really positive for him to come straight into the team. Casemiro in the midfield with Bruno worries me a little bit, but I think Cunha and Mbeumo are sort of made for this type of game. So I'm hoping that we're going to see just how important they are in a game like this. Mason Mount has done quite well, but he reminds me of Bruno in a sense, that's not, you've got no future in this team, mate. Like, I know Robert McCormack's not going to like this, but there is no future for Mason Mount playing as a false 9. You're out on your arse at some point. I mean, I hope he can score and have a good game, but he cannot be in this team long term. Otherwise, why did we buy Šeško? So you know what it reminds me of? Remember when we bought Casemiro and we really, really needed a midfielder? And we bought Casemiro and we played Southampton away and he picked McTominay. And you were sort of looking at it going, well, what's that all about then? Because really, we know that we're going to pick this player at some point, and then you don't pick the player. So I think it's just a case of if and not when and not if with regards to Šeško. Fulham are playing a back 5. They're looking to match us. No surprise there, says Jeffrey. Did you see Baleba got hooked at half-time, says Harry. I didn't. I've seen the scores. Everton won 2-0 against Brighton. I told you their manager was overrated. But I didn't see that Baleba got took off at half-time. I mean, look, we're not going to go back in there at that price, are we? Let's be clear. Right, let's have a look at this Fulham team, because some people have said they're going with a back 5, so I can have a quick look at this. Make sure you get your comments in. There's a load of shite in here that I just don't need. Fucking hell. Need to have a tidy up. Right, where's the Fulham team? Okay, 1 minute. I can't get the Fulham team. Let me have a look. Right, we'll get that up for you in a moment. Let me go back to the United team because I have got that. Well, I did have that. Okay. We'll just load and start again and see what happens. Good job we're not doing a Bundesliga game, innit? Countdown to fucking kickoff. Oh, God. Don't like... Countdown to kickoff. Scorecard. This should work. Thank you. Okay, can we get this going now? Thank you. There we go. And Fulham team. There we go. What have we got? So I've got the stats. Okay, we're all sorted now. So there's the Fulham team. Let me pause it on the screen for you there. So Fulham are lining up as follows. They've got Leno, Tete, Anderson, Bassi, Castagnet, because Robinson's still injured, Lukic, Berg and King, and then Sessegnon, Iwobi and Muniz. I mean, I think that realistically that is an honest Premier League size at the end of the day. But I would still expect Manchester United to be winning it. We need to be winning games like this. So I can't overemphasise enough how important it is that Manchester United win this game of football today. I think we've got a lot of eyes on us. We're playing last again, apart from the Monday night game. Everybody's played 2 games apart from Newcastle and Liverpool, who realistically we want to be near Newcastle. He's took some risks with the team. I mean, when you look at the bench, Delow, Fredrickson, Heaven, Maguire, Mainu, Onana, Ugarte, Xerxes and Sesko. I don't know. I sort of do look at that team and I think we've got all our attackers on the pitch apart from Sesko and Xerxes. So I would expect us to be able to get this game. I'd expect us to be on the front foot. It's an attacking United side. Ahmad's playing at right wing back. I like that. You've got Mount, Mbeumo, Cunha, Bruno, Dorgu to support the attack. I mean, the ideal would be to have Šeško at the forefront of that, but I'm going to go 3-1 Man United. I feel that we have to start winning at some point, and today surely will be that day. Get that going there. We live in cities. There we go. Perfecto. Can you put the United team back on the screen? I certainly can, kind sir. Thank you for asking nicely. So there's your United side. I'm just going to get the stats carousel rolling round now. So yeah, I wouldn't pay a massive amount of attention to whether it's Cunha or Mount or Mbeumo. I'd expect to see a lot of change there. I want to see a lot of possession. I am worried about Casemiro. I'm always going to be worried about Casemiro. And I'm worried about the goalkeeper, of course. But I agree with what he's done. I think people, I mean, let me just run a quick poll here. Very relevant poll. Who would you have started? Not Mount or Sesko. Bienda or Onana? And I'll come back to that because I don't want to influence anything or be influenced by you. Robert McCormack says it'd be Sesko versus Burnley and Mount against City, says Robert McCormack. It's almost like Robert McCormack's the bloody advisor to Amrim, isn't he? He talks with such authority and he tends to be right. Mikhail says this laptop medical staff needs to go. Mohammed says Amrim haters are dull. False 9 is to cover up for a slow midfield. If the owners did their job and bought Baleba, Amrim wouldn't be doing this. Fair point, Mohammed. Happy Sunday, lad. Let's have a good team performance with everyone playing for each other, doing it the United way, says Fearless Offend. Congratulations on the Bundesliga deal. I don't support United, but always enjoy your content. Good luck in the game, says Ashley Frith. Thank you very much for your support. We're back again on Friday, and we've got our highlights show coming out on Tuesday. I love everything about this lineup except no Šeško, says Rajaf. No, I disagree. I don't want Casemiro in the midfield. I still think that's a problem. It might not be a problem today because, as I said, the donut might get the hole might get protected by the donuts. You've got De Ligt, Yoro, Cunha, and Mbeumo, but I just don't think Casemiro is the solution. Ollie says, fuming that Šeško isn't starting. Fulham are playing a back 5. We've done that one. Did that one as well. With Lemens in, we need to get a goalkeeper out. Why would we start Bienda if we wanted to sell him? Does this mean Onana to Saudi? I want to talk about that now, Sanska. Angry Brit we've spoken about as well. Thank you very much for your early super chats, by the way. You can get those in. We'll read those out. Thank you very much for that. Why isn't Mainu starting, says Harry. Remember, we've got a game on Wednesday, so it'll be an opportunity, hopefully, to see Mainu. Let me talk to you about the goalkeeper. So 78% of you in the vote would go with Bienda over Onana. So would I. I mentioned this on the evening show, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock, and we have a 2 o'clock show UK time as well. So we were talking on the show last night, and I've always been very, very consistent that Onana would be dropped for this game. Manchester United journalists were putting out that Onana would start. But I said, no, I'm convinced he'll go Bienda, because I think when Amrim makes a decision, he sticks with it. I like this because if you think of it like this, we're going to sign Lemens and he is young. And if Onana's in goal and Lemens comes in, I think there's more chance of him being an understudy to Onana to gradually take his place. Whereas if Bienda is the starting goalkeeper and Lemens comes in, I think he goes straight in as number 1 because I don't think Bienda benches Lemens. But I think if Onana's the goalkeeper, maybe he does. So I think it's better for us in relation to the goalkeeper that's coming in that Bienda is in goal because I think he will get replaced by Lemens. And Onana, look, I don't think there's long enough left in the window for him to for him not to be in the team. But sorry, I don't think there's long enough left in the window for him to leave. But he has been told to leave since March and has decided that he doesn't need to leave. And this is always the danger, isn't it? The same thing is happening with Rasmus. You say you're not going, you're not in the team. And then you've got a decision to make. And I think Onana's got a decision to make. He's on very good money. That's the truth. He's on ridiculously good money at the club. He's one of the best paid goalkeepers in Europe and therefore in the world. That's problematic to get rid of him. And whether Saudi could look at him or not now, I don't actually know. But I feel that the best thing Amrim can do is keep him out of the team. Keep him away from that starting lineup and force him out of the club. And, you know, people can be concerned about what's happening with Šeško, but Šeško's going to end up in the team, isn't he? There's no two ways about that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do. I just hope Binder doesn't make a mistake today. Obviously, he had a punch like a butterfly's fart last week, as I said. He needs to be strong. He needs to be punching like Stallone tonight, and because they're gonna this afternoon, because they're gonna put pressure on him. There's no two ways about it. They will be putting pressure on him. They will be looking to exploit him, and Manchester United need to be protecting him better than we did last week. I mean, Mason Mount can't be marking their best player. That would just be ridiculous in my mind. Sorry, I've just completely lost where I am there. Mark, you're the effing GOAT. Thank you very much. Tony says, hi, Mark. Let's get it together to get the ball in the back of the net. Champa's on ice. It's 4-1 to United, says Tony. I'm going to go 3-1. Congratulations, Mark. Next to the Premier League, says Ralston. I feel like the league is paying £2 for a penny, while Bundesliga saw your value. Thank you very much, Ralston. Lemens, as an understudy to Onana, dear oh dear, says Tristan. You said Spurs to finish in the top 4 yesterday, and that's football. What makes us finish below Spurs? I think we're a better team, mate. I don't like those sort of comments when we've only played one game and lost. So, look, nice to see Šeško smiling. He knows. Apparently, he works really hard. He'll be fine. Decent firepower on the Fulham bench for the final 30 minutes. I haven't looked at the Fulham bench. What have they got? Smith Rowe, Traore, Anthony Robinson is on their bench. Jimenez. Or are you talking about our bench for the last 30 minutes? Don't know there. Congratulations on the Bundesliga, says Kieran. Do you think Maynard will get minutes today? I don't know. Zane said, you're the GOAT. United, thank you very much. Marky Mark and the Bundesliga bunch says Dropkick. We live in cities you'll never see on screen. What a tune, J-Dead. Lord. People saying that they hope we lose is pathetic. Back the team and the manager. Who's hoping we lose? I do not want to see us losing games anyway, but I really don't want to deal with all the knobheads who love us to lose. Yeah, I really don't want to see that at all. Yeah, not at all. But let's see what happens. Look, there's a long way to go. Long way to go. Must-win game. It will dictate momentum, says Andre Gomez. Completely agree with that. Why is Amrim starting this game without a striker, says Chin. And Andreas says, I swear the combined IQ of the chat couldn't build a campfire with matches and sticks. Šeško is young and missed our pre-season, says Andreas. No, I think that's a bit of an unfair statement, to be honest with you, because when you look at what Arteta has done with Gyökeres had less of a pre-season than Šeško, and they've thrown him in, and Man United haven't. And I think we can have a grown-up conversation about this, because I would have started Šeško, and I have got a high IQ when it comes to football, I think. And I think a lot of you have as well. I would have started Šeško because he's fit enough to start the game and come off after an hour. He's probably quicker, he's probably fitter than Gyökeres. The reason United don't do this, and we've been doing it for a while now, is because our fitness departments are crap. They're crap. I know people who work in it. It's a crap fitness department, and they're terrified. So they're really, I mean, Sir Jim Radcliffe needs to sort this out. If you want to have the conversation, he needs to sort that fitness department out, because they're risk averse. They tell managers, they told Ten Hag and they've told Amorim, only 60 minutes today. Only 60 minutes. Like, it's always like the manager of Man United is run by the physio department. Only 60 minutes. Don't play him for any more than 60 minutes. And I guarantee you, Šeško could have started the game, but I guarantee you, Amorim's been told, nah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And we'll probably be fine not doing it. But the only justification for not starting him is because the fitness department are saying he's not quite up to speed. But then you've got Arsenal picking Gyökeres, who's had less of a pre-season. So we could have started him. I'm not that bothered about it because I actually like some of his other selections. I like the fact that he's gone with Ahmad over Dalot at right wing back away from home. That was a concern. I knew he'd pick Dalot against Arsenal because Arsenal are a top side, but away from home, not playing with Dalot shows a bit of ambition on the front foot. I'm excited about that. As I say, I'm glad that Onana's not playing. A little bit concerned about Casemiro. Would have liked to say Šeško as well, but you know, that's where we're at. Welcome to everyone on Twitch. Thank you very much for tuning in. Rage Tactician, Kyle Foster. I loved the behind the scenes last time when you forgot to end it. Yeah, that wasn't deliberate. I'll try and remember today. If you are on Twitch and you want to subscribe and avoid ads and everything, you can do that for free through Amazon Prime. We've pinned that in the chat. Thank you very much. Mount to Palace for 30 to 40 million cash in. I've heard nothing about that, but I would do that deal. When the transfers get tough, Amorim gets rough, says Nathan Kearney. Mount, FFS, he's 3 points for United though, says Rub. It's on Amorim if Bienda makes a mistake, says Robert McCormack. Well, of course it is. I mean, you know, Robert, you're cleverer than that. Of course it's on the manager. If Mason Mount 2-foots someone and gets sent off, it's on the manager. You know, he's made. If Ahmad concedes a penalty, it's on the manager. That's, you know, I don't think Amorim's got a problem with that. I ain't got a problem with that. That's what your managers get paid for. Been around since 50k subs. Let's hope that this team can finally bring us some joy. Keep up the great work, says Aider. Look, I really want Manchester United to win, obviously, but I think it's really important when you look at the climate that Manchester United win. And I'm not talking about the rain. I'm talking about what's gone on this weekend. I look at the top six, I look at the media, and I go, Man United are the target. Arsenal won, Chelsea won, Spurs won, Liverpool don't play till tomorrow, and no one cares about Man City. If we lose, we're the story. Amorim's under pressure. I want Man United to win. I don't want us to be the story. I want us to be left alone. I want us to build our season. I fully understand that we're going to lose games this season. I fully understand that we're probably not going to be in the top four. I hope we can be fifth. I hope that'll be Champions League football. But I don't want us to be the story early on in the season. I want us just to go about our business and avoid the weekends where we can be the story. We could be the story tonight if we lose, and I don't want that. The press needs something to write about, and they'd love to be talking about Man United losing. Cheers to Šeško scoring a hat-trick off the bench, says Dominic. I certainly wouldn't be putting Šeško in your FPL team if you know anything about how United work with new signings. No Mainu, no Šeško, but we support Amorim's patience, says Chicken. Let's get it together today. Get the ball in the back of the net. Champers on ice, says Tony. And congratulations, Mark. Next to the Prem, we've done that from Ralston. Thank you very much. Appreciate your super chats. Who would you have started over Casemiro, says Henry? Well, I put that to the chat. I would have started. Who would I started? JNH says Fulham are massive. I would have started. You know what? It's a good question. You know what? The reason I haven't mentioned it much is because I support Amorim anyway. But more importantly, I sort of get why he's gone with Casemiro. My frustration is more about this not signing a midfielder. Because Ugarte, I said this with Rasmus. I like Rasmus, but by the end of last season, his confidence was in the bin. And I look at Ugarte and his confidence is in the bin. Would I play Mainu next to Bruno away from home when he hasn't started a game yet or played a minute? Probably would, but it would be a bit of a risk. So I can understand why he's gone with Casemiro. But realistically, the big problem is we haven't bought a midfielder. That's the big problem. Let's go, says Wagner. Can finally watch Man United again. Cheers from Japan. Let us know where you're watching from, everybody. Always nosy me. Thank you very much for that. Hopefully we get out the bottom three, says Carl Foster. I wonder if Casemiro gets more time in games for his passing and heading ability, says Scotty. I think that when it comes to Casemiro, he's not a bad player if he's got a lot of protection around him. and he has got 3 centre-backs behind him, and he has got a lot of mobility around him. So, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Been watching you since 50k subs from India. Still not confident in the squad, says Vishal. Look, don't forget to register for player ratings. Scan the QR code. You only register once and then you're set for the season. Free to do it. Scan the QR code. You'll get an email. You set it up for life, well, for the season. If you're not registered before, because we do the player ratings on the match reaction, and it's thousands of your votes aggregated against my 1 vote. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, and put a star next to your man of the match. Watching from Malaysia, work tomorrow, says Fraz. We got a bank holiday tomorrow. Yeah, we've got a bloody bank holiday tomorrow. Mark Amrim comments, he explains, says Roosh. I will have a quick look at those. Watching from Malaysia, done that, Fraz. Afternoon, Mark, what's for tea apart from 3 points? I sort of had my main lunch. I had like flatbreads with like a Greek salad and some chicken in marinated, a bit of coleslaw. It's very nice. It's quite warm here today. Lemens has been left out of the Euro Royal Antwerp squad, says I'm powered by Honda. Thank you very much for that. We would have expected that, wouldn't we? Wagner, welcome to Members Club. He's been here 9 months. Whip, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Kaiwan says, I'm watching from Dubai on BN Sports. I'm listening to Keys and Gray. Unlucky. Slating Delit, questioning Mainu, dismissing Sheshko. Why so obvious they're against us? It's frustrating and they know nothing, says K1. I got offered a lot of money to go and replace. No, I didn't really. Do you think Sheshko... I'll get people excited. Do you think Sheshko is on the bench because of fitness or because Amrin wants to slowly introduce him to the squad? Fan base, so there's not much pressure on him, says Alexander. I don't know. I don't know, actually, because I think when it comes to strikers, Arteta clearly wanted to get Gyökeres scoring quick. And that's why he was picking him when he's clearly not fully fit. And it worked. He scored 2 goals yesterday. We're going down the more patient route. And you might be right. There might be something behind that. I personally think we'll be fronting it because of a lack of a pre-season. That's my feeling around it. But I'm just trying to find the quotes. Napoli are very close to signing Rasmus. The negotiations are advanced for a loan with an option to buy. That's coming out as well. Amarim on Sesko. We've tried to imagine what would happen during the match. We need to have options to play differently. Sesko has been with us for 2 weeks. He's trying to understand everything. We need to be patient. We just want to win the match and try to help all our players. It doesn't really give us an explanation, does it? But we need the 3 points. That's what we need more than anything today. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're so close to 160,000. We're about, in fact, 22 subscribers away. So please do subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand. Live 3 times a day, 8 o'clock at night, 10 a.m. in the morning and 2 p.m. UK time. Get involved with the biggest and best football community. I don't even say Man United, the biggest and best football community in the world. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Okay, I'm going to go 3-1 to Manchester United. That's my score prediction. I don't do the goal scorers. Don't forget, when BoohooMan goes round, the link is in the description. We're giving away an £800 voucher to one of you exclusively today. All you've got to do is click the link in the description and get yourself registered for that. I've got one of their t-shirts on today, and I tell you what, I'm into these oversized t-shirts now. I never used to wear them when I was younger, but I'm starting to get into them because, especially for a match day, just a little bit more room around them, you know? Sometimes I get a little bit hot under the collar, saying, tackle him, tackle him. I don't want any of that. We're ready, we're ready. Jono's just subscribed. Thank you, Jono, on Twitch. Thanks for subscribing. You can do that with Prime for free if you are over there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to Jono. We've got a brand new timer to try out today. I'm nervous. We are now, our new home is there because it gives me more room around here. I can also get my phone up and show you, not nudes or anything like that. So, but you know. Right, Binder in goal. The cameras are on him. Let's go get 3 points today. Ideally, let's go and get 3 points today based upon a good performance. But if not a good performance, you know, a scrappy 1-0 like Arsenal last week. I ain't precious. I ain't bloody Gollum. Precious, precious, precious. Rubbish. Right, okay. Second game of the season. Come on, I don't know where the negativity comes from. Football's back, United's back. We've waited all weekend for this. Let's have it. Come on, lads. Let's go get some. Let's go get some. Lukic. Dave says it's got a draw written all over it. Someone in the chat said I'm just really excited about the timer. I mean, it's just numbers, really. Bang. There it is. Watching in Manchester while decorating the living room with my beautiful better half Kelly, says Phil. But Phil, I hope you're not chucking paint all over the place. That's all I'm going to say. Free Cobby Mainu, says Patty. Let's go United. Love from San Diego, says Omar. Let's go, says Dan. And also, sorry, I've just paused the chat there. Got it back now. Godves, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you to Dan. And a long ball forward by then. Everyone is having a great day. Let's hope we can pull it off, says Son. Congratulations on the Bundesliga deal, Mark, says Blanc. Thank you, mate. World Cup selection year sure is back, says Ankit. He ain't going to stay all season, though, is he? I know nothing about Lamens. What are your thoughts, says Bounty Hunter? Young keeper, good shot stopper, good with both feet, and very confident. But obviously, a work in progress. Prince says Man United will be 5th in the table after today's game. I hope you're right. Muffin Munch, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Nice ball into Cunha. Oh, I thought he'd scored a worldie. I was about to say he could have passed it to Mbermo, and I don't like people who shoot from distance. And then I thought he scored a worldie. I mean, look, we have to be critical like we were critical last season, but I think he could have played Mbermo in. But you know what? First minute and a half of the game, why not? Why not? Bit of a sighter. I think he's gonna do very well at Manchester United. I really do. Nice header by Luke Shaw into Dorgu. Still there. Cuts it back into Mount. It's a good start by United. Oh! Oh, he's hit the post. It would have been a great goal. Ahmad gets blocked. Oh, he's hit the post. He's hit Wood. Oh, what a start that was. Some lovely play between Mount. Now Mbermo. Oh, he's hit the post. What a start by Man United that was. It could have been a great goal. It's lovely play by Dorgu, laid off by Mount, and then Cunha passes it into the post. So close, Cunha. He's had a good start. Lovely ball by Mount. Robert McCormack is going to be holding on to the tissues here. Saying, I told you so, whilst grabbing the tissues. But very, very good start by the front three there. Very energetic start from Manchester United as well. Very, very good start. Can you do an impression of Mr. Burns if Man United scores, says Jonas? I can't do an impression of Mr. Burns. Schlee says, I'm paying for all these services and the game's on none of them. It's on Sky over here. Well in Mount. Well in Cunha. Some lovely little football going on from United here. It's quick. I tell you what, it's like watching Man United on fast play. We don't move the ball this quick. I'm enjoying it. Really moving the ball around fast. No one's taking a touch. It is. It's nice. One-touch passing is absolutely on point so far. Is Ruben keeping the pressure off Sesko, bringing him in gradually? Let the Premier League prove if players start until he's found his feet. I'd start him though, says Dan. Well, you can't argue with what he's done here. Here's Dorgu down the left-hand side. Side netting. Very dominant start by United here. Joe Magical, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. Appreciate that. Disappointed to not see Sesko starting, says Real Rev. Mate, you might be disappointed, but United have started off very well. This first 4 minutes is better than our entire season last year. Paul says, what a fantastic start. I'm not messing around. This first 4 minutes is better than our entire last season highlights. It's not a joke. The one-touch football, the speed, you know, it's been a long time since I've enjoyed watching Man United play. It's a long time since I've been proud of the way United play. I mean, you want to win, but we're actually playing good football. Just get the ball into Cunha and Mount. Mount does the right things at the right time, says Robert McCormack. I'm surprised you can type with the tissues in your hand. Keep up the good work, says JD. Thank you. Chits, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. Legend. Well, Fulham haven't even got going here. And they had a good result at Brighton last week, but Brighton have just lost, so maybe Brighton are a bit shit. What's this team done with the real Man United? This is lovely football, says Lachlan. Look at Bruno here, pushing with the press. Look at Bruno. Look how high Bruno is. I guarantee you now, I bet you any money, Bruno will cover more distance than anybody on the pitch again. He's back in the midfield now. I am going to keep an eye on Bruno today. Meta Mike, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Legend. Because he is everywhere. Von says, I think Casemiro's the clear weakness. He's just not got the legs for it. That's the only problem. But you just hope it's not going to be a problem. It's almost like we're going to have to outscore teams. Bassey's gone down here for Fulham. He's not the sort of player to go down. So I think he might have just head collision with Mbeumo. Yeah, I think that's what happened there. Nah, well, all right. Bassey's not the sort of player to go down for nothing and then literally goes down for what looks like nothing. I mean, he might have just caught him in the face with a finger, but he might have fingered him. That's about it. Zenon UK, welcome to the Prime subscription club on Twitch. You can do that for free if you have got Amazon Prime. Thank you very much for that. I just realised what I said about Mbeumo. What I meant is I think his finger got him in the eye. Bassey seems to want a free kick for that. What are you talking about? How many times have you watched Le Mans, says Bob. Do you want the honest answer? Never. I don't lie. Like, I think Gyökeres will do well at Arsenal because I've seen him play a few times. But I've not seen anything about Le Mans, no. But you've got to trust the scouting, haven't you? I do read both chats, yes, Lazy Talks. Great show as usual, says Alex. What's the news on Manu as he fell out of favour with Amrin? Well, he was never in favour, was he? Paolo Panini Gaming, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Yeah, he was never in favour. He couldn't get in the team last year, so he's starting from crap ball by Casemiro there. Come on. Come on. We had a really good 3 minutes. Let's get the ball back into Cunha. Get the ball into the feet of Cunha or Mount. That's what I'd be shouting. Palmarias, thank you. You started a hype train. If you're on YouTube, please do subscribe because I want to change that to 160,000. We're only about 10 subscribers away. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved with the United Stand. Good start here from United. But need to put the ball in the back of the net, which is what we haven't done this season yet. I mean, we've only had one game. We're not going to get worried about it too much. But, you know, you've got to put the ball in back at net. Well done. You've done it. Thanks, everyone. If you know, you know. ARE TV. Thanks for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. Thanks. Luca has given us a super chat. He says, I think Neville is saying we'll get top 4, so when we don't get it, he can say Amrim out. Too high expectations, so he can say I told you so. I've never had that mentality. Here's Mbeumo. Let's just wait and see what happens here. Into Ahmad. And that should go for a corner. He's giving a bloody goal kick. How can it be a goal kick? When life gives you lemons, you make lemonades, says Mark. Okay. I've never done that. I know some people do. It's toxic positivity, isn't it? You basically want something to fail, but you predict it will do well. It's like putting a bet on Liverpool to win And then if they win, you get to make a bit of money. But if they lose, you're happy because you don't like them. Bruno with a shot. Comfortable for Leno, palms it away and goes out for a throw-in. But good effort again. I think, thank you, Luca, for that. Just Goose and Dave Kirkwood Studio. Thanks for subscribing with Prime. Love you. Thank you very much. Don't love you in that way. Just love the community, you know. Bruno's not going anywhere. Thanks, Sassy, for subscribing. Do you rate Marco Silva as a manager, says Cag? Yeah, I think he's a good manager. I do. I think he's got... I don't think, you know, like Thomas Frank, I don't think it's easy to keep Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, not only in the Premier League, but consistently mid-table. So I think Silva's done a good job. And a lot, you know, like Bournemouth and like Brentford, it comes down to the coaching. You've got to get the buy-in. You've got to get people to work hard. I mean, I don't think Fulham are ever going to be the best footballing side, and I don't think Brentford were. But they're well organised, and, you know, they're not going to go down. And these teams tend to do it by not spending ridiculous amounts of money either. Papa D, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Fulham just having a bit of possession here. A-Team or Knight Rider? It's close. I did like the A-Team as a kid, but now as a grown-up, I think I probably prefer Knight Rider. The music was better. They should bring it back with me. I could be... what was his name? Michael Knight. Mark Knight. And they could make the car gold. Knight Rider was brilliant. Airwolf. Oh, no. Bienda, no! Good play. Well done, Bienda. Art in my mouth, then. He's done well there. Give him some support. I genuinely thought that was going to be a moment there. Slipped it through. Was it Sessignon? And I thought he was going to just dink it over the advancing Bienda. And he catches that well as well. Benedict says, I love you in that way. Palmares says, that was good from Bienda. And Arna would have just stood there on his line. Checking his phone. Amram needs a ball progressor from midfield to feed the 10s. He sacrifices Bruno from his best position because he's still the best of what we have in that role. That's nothing against weak teams, says Humphrey. Thank you, Humphrey. I can't believe it. I was just about ready to jump. Cunha can't believe it. It's just a long ball over the top. Long ball over the top. Fulham defence is stuck. Cunha takes it down. I mean, that takedown by Cunha was absolutely brilliant. And it's a great save by Leno, and it should be 1-0 to United. Cunha's on fire. I mean, he could have had 2 goals. We deserve to be winning this. That takedown by Cunha, it belongs on bloody Rory's War. Or SmackDown. Brett the Hitman Hart would be happy with that takedown. Look at the control. Oh. Oh, suits you, sir. Oh, that's a bloody goal kick. It's gone virtually the length of the pitch. He controls it like a bloody magnet. That goal would have been goal of the week, by the way. Just from the control. Reese Mills, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Thank you to Floppy Joystick and Al Robbins as well. Absolute legends, thank you. Fulham on the attack now. Don't you dare. Corner to Fulham. Wow, this worries me a little bit. This is the thing, you've got to score, Jims. Look, I think it's a great save by Leno, and Cunha should... but I don't think you can say Cunha's got to score, because I don't think many footballers in the world, because of control back... Ahmad actually got caught here, by the way. Good recovery by Ahmad. But the danger is not taking your chances, I agree. Jake White, thank you very much for subscribing. Brighton scored a nice one, says JJ. Right, this is where we've got to be careful. Binder. Tighten your gloves up like bloody Usyk and punch it. No, it's not a good corner. Thank God for that. Oh, what a hit. And a good save. Who hit that? Iwobi, I think, hits it through the crowd. Lovely technique on the edge of the box from Iwobi. He stood on the edge of the box, headed out, and I think he catches it on the volley. He does. I mean, it's not... I mean, you'd expect him to save it, but it's a difficult one because it's coming right the way through. And look at where he gets... Where I'll give him extra points there, Binder, away from danger. None of this back into the danger like Onana, but it is another corner. That's the downside, and that's a better corner. Oh, he was in all sorts of trouble, Binder there. He was in all sorts of trouble there. He is like Dracula. He's nervous on crosses. Yeah, he's in a mess there. He's got to be stronger. He's got to give people a shot. Look at him. He's weak. Yeah. He's not happy, is he? He's just got to get a bit of... You know, if I had him in training, all I'd be doing is saying, when it's a corner, find your space, push people out. You know, watch people like Raya. Like you've got to learn how to do it. No one noticed how no one celebrates the save with Beinder's IQ. That would have been a Binder assist, says Simo. Cunha should be on a hat trick within 15 minutes, says Kent. Alex says, is this Casemiro's last year in the contract? Yes, it is. Bartley says, do you think Biender's that bad or just needs to run a game? I think he's a backup goalkeeper. I mean, I don't think he's horrific. I just don't think he's ever going to be... Look, Biender's never going to be Alisson. He's never going to be Edison. He's never going to be Raya. He's more... He's never going to be Leno, to be honest. He's not that good. He's just a backup goalkeeper. TK says, we're already losing the midfield battle. Scotty Summers says, was Van der Sar the last keeper we had that was comfortable at catching the ball? Yeah, even De Gea wasn't dominant in the air, to be fair. Danny McCabe, thank you for joining the members club. Appreciate that. Get your badge in. That's a good clearance. Fair play. Is he better than Onana? Yeah. I think he's better than Onana. Hello, I'm still here. I'm actually not that far away. Oh. So you wouldn't want to fall on that, would you? Well, some people might. Explain that at A&E. Fulham on the attack, another corner. We got to... Oh, there's not a lot you can do. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? E. Water says he's very nervous on cross as well. It's another corner here. This one will be whipping away from him, which is a positive. He's not going to be curling towards the goal. Not a very good corner either. That's it. Clear it away. Bruno misses the header. see, I don't know why we couldn't play on there. We've got good possession and we go back for a foul. I know Bruno has been fouled, but we've actually got good possession. Just play on. Referees just don't let the games go. We were in good possession there, and then we start with the fucking ball. Unless he's going to book him, I'd rather get the play on, because there's no advantage. How do you think we're playing? Look, in a way, it's a little bit like Arsenal. We're playing well, but we've not scored. And I love the way, in parts, we've played in this game, but there is a lot to be said for results. And I'd be a lot happier if we scored the first goal. Would you? Scotty Summers says, here's one for you. Would you take Ederson if he was willing to come and City were willing to sell? I don't rate Ederson, Scotty, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't take Ederson. Thank you very much. Thoughts on the United Strand hair challenge, says hi. I'm worried. I'm actually worried about him suffocating because, like, how long can that hair get at night? You know, you could roll over and be like, you know, like falling in straw. I hope he just ties it up at night, and that's what worries me. What's the story of the definitely maybe sign behind you, says Bobby? I got given it as a gift by a friend because he knows I like Oasis. So, what app do you use to watch Premier League games, says Hector? I think you need to ask people in the chat because this is on Sky, it's not an app. Fulham have weathered the storm. We need to score those chances. Momentum you can feel is switching to the home side, says Ivan. I mean, I hope they haven't. Bill says with Mark with the permanent glasses on. The reason I've got the straps on the back is because I broke the glasses. I'm getting some new ones next week. I sat on them. So to keep them on, I have to wear these straps around the back. Strap on, Bridge. Cunha is for sure scoring today, and Burmo and Ahmad look a little bit lost. Yeah, that's going to take a bit of time, Juan. I think it's a really good tactical analysis. I think down that right-hand side, it's going to take a lot of time. We've won our last 8 games at Craven Cottage, by the way. Yeah, we do well against Hugh Grant FC. Wonder if he's watching. Are there any keepers at any other clubs in any league that you'd be perfect for United? Says Rory. I mean, I would have took Emi Martinez. Obviously, I would have took Donnarumma, but you know, we clearly haven't got that sort of money. Danny McCabe, thanks for joining the members club. Surely our goalkeeping coaches work on set pieces, says Steve. Yeah, but in fairness, you can't polish a turd, mate. You know, if somebody's got a weakness, they've got a weakness. Happy life, welcome to the members club. Shame we didn't hop on the Palhinha deal, says David. Yeah, he looked brilliant for Spurs yesterday, didn't he? Does Binder keep an honour out this team? He is at the moment, Ray. Do you think the momentum has shifted in this game? I thought that was a good question. Look, we started off very well in the first 5 minutes. In a way, it's almost a flip of a home game, because in a home game, the away team grows in confidence the longer the game goes on. We started off very, very well in this game, and now Fulham are starting to get back into it. And as the home team, that's quite dangerous. You're not going to get it all your own way away from home. So I'm not too worried about momentum because we're the away team. We started off well. You do need to take those chances. We've hit the post and a great save by Leno. And obviously Cunha had that long distance shot as well. So I feel we've done enough to be 1-0 up. But we're not. So we've got to keep the concentration and we've got to keep working. I mean, the positives for me are that we can categorically say after 23 minutes, 24 minutes now, we have played well in parts. Better than I've probably seen us play for a while. But we've got to put the ball in the back of the net. And that poses the question, maybe we're not scoring goals because we haven't got a bloody striker. So you ask the question again, when will we start playing with a striker? Because we couldn't score against Arsenal and we played very well and we haven't scored here. But then you might look at it and go, well, you know, Cunha could have scored too. I think you need a focal point in a team. Ruben Amorim, he'll bring the glory days again. We'll back him from the Stretford end to turn the Reds around, says J.R. Smith. Mount, a good headache to have, says Ray. Not really. I don't want him to play up front. I like him as a bench option, but I don't want him anywhere near the starting lineup as a striker. It's a lovely cross. You've got to be careful of Muniz. They've got a bit of an overlap here on the Ahmad side. That's a good cross. Well defended by Yoro. Good defending by Yoro, that. We mustn't sleep on that as well. Yoro was very good last week. De Ligt was very good last week. Are Man United playing well because they're away from home, says Adrian. Well, no, we played well at home last week, didn't we? We need Martinez back to penetrate these lines, says I feel Pablo. Who's going to do better this season, Seshko or Gyökeres? I mean, Rajaf, I would say Gyökeres because he's playing in a better team, but I hope it's Seshko. Garfield says Amorim wants Seshko to read the game, and then second half he'll be fire. After Le Mans, do you think we might get a midfielder in January? Any chance? Love from Australia, and big up Brisbane Man United supporters club, says Ajit. I wouldn't be holding out Man United getting a midfielder in January, really. I feel we are a club that tries to do business in the summer. Nicholas Allen, one of our members, says too many long balls. Sean, you're a prat. That's from, I don't know, XX Rub. Could Binder be better than Romero? Mate, you're being very disrespectful to Romero. Romero was a brilliant keeper, Mishu. Standout player so far? Get the ball to Cunha. I think Mount's done well. Get the ball to Cunha. Defences look solid. Binder's done okay apart from crosses. But yeah, get the ball to Cunha. See, I don't like that sort of ball from Bruno. I hate it. You're playing centre midfield. You can play a simple 5-yard pass and keep possession, and he whacks a fucking 50-yard ball out for a throw-in. And that's what I don't like about Bruno in the midfield. Just wastes possession when we've got possession. And that, my friends, is the discipline we talk about that Bruno will never have in the midfield. In that situation, just keep rotating the ball, 5-yard, 10-yard pass. Don't fucking hit a 50-yard ball out of possession. We can't move the ball through the midfield, always trying to skip it with long balls now, says Ankit. Do you reckon by the Man City game, Seshko and Lamens will start, says David? Well, I think McCormack makes a good point. Our next game after Burnley is straight after the international break at Man City, and he might go with a false 9 again. Goliath says, given last season, would you be happy finishing in a Conference League place? No. No. No Man United fan is happy finishing 5th, let alone in a Conference League place. Would he get sacked if we were in a Conference League place? Probably not, but I wouldn't be happy with it. Thank you, Ankit. M. Hick, thanks for joining the Members Club. Yes, Ten Hag lost yesterday with Leverkusen. Very disappointed about that because I like the kit. Do you think if United lose this game, it's going to be the same story as last season? A long way to go. We shouldn't be losing this game. I've not seen anything from Fulham that would suggest they're good enough to beat us. I mean, look, you never know. But just got to put the ball in the back. Put the ball in the back of the net. You know? Mighty Grimsby next is story time. Yeah, this is a weird one. We're playing in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday night because we were shite last season, so we finished in the bottom half of the league, so we have to play a round earlier. I don't think it massively... I mean, in a weird way, it could be a positive, an extra game to give people minutes because we're not in Europe. Do you remember Joel Pereira at United? He's at my local team, Reading, and he's our number 1 currently. Would you take him back at United, says Daniel? No, but thanks for the story. Foul by Mount. I think it was a foul on Mount first, to be honest. Joseph says, I think Everton will finish above Man United. Look, with all due respect to Everton, in fact, no respect to Everton because I'm banned. If Everton finish above Man United, we're in big trouble because there's no way Everton are finishing in the top half. I can say that with utter confidence. Imagine if they did finish in the bottom half, top half now. I mean, nothing's impossible. Fulham just having a little bit too much of the ball at the moment. I do think we need a striker on. I've just tweeted it there. There's not really a focal point. Mount's good for hard work, and he's good if he gets the ball into feet. But as a focal point, we're missing that. Honestly, Fulham look more in control than us, says Gaz. I mean, it is starting to feel like we needed to score one of those chances, didn't it? Delitti's a rock in the defence today, says Stian. And again, you know, I think him and Yoro have played really well. Luke Shaw's doing okay. Honestly, Fulham more in control, says Gaz, Shifty. Are you going to play EAFC 26? No, I'm back, Ryan. Definitely going to be back. Mbermo. Good play. Casemiro goes backwards, though. He's Luke Shaw. Bruno. Oh, did well there. Nice little flick by Mason Mount again. And that will go for a corner. Wonder Anana playing the Wednesday games, is Heinrich. Yeah, he might play in goal on Wednesday. I've seen a few people talking about Ahmad at right wing back. Same thing happened last week. Look, Ahmad will be a waste at right wing back if we don't utilise him. I think last season, barring the injury, you could argue he was our best player with Bruno. So, you know, obviously, I want to see Ahmad on the ball. And when he's playing at right back, he's not getting a lot of the ball. But also, I think there's a new relationship there between Mbeumo and Ahmad. And that's probably going to take a bit of time to get used to. I mean, you look at this game, Ahmad is playing defensively quite a lot, isn't he? And we know that's not what Ahmad's about. Mount's playing well when he's getting the ball, KD, but as an actual forward, I just think we miss a striker. I mean, out of the three number 10s, Mount and Cunha are probably the two best. Good play by Ahmad there defensively. That's it being there. Get rid of it. I don't mind a long ball in that position. How are you getting on with the AFC beta, says Danny Inns. I haven't played a lot of it this week because it's busy, but the game's not out till the back end of September. So once the transfer window's closed, I'm planning on getting a good 22 minutes in a day. I don't know why 22 minutes, but... Leno becomes prime Neuer every time we play them, says Huns. He's a good goalkeeper, Leno. God, there's all sorts going on in the box there. Bassi. He thinks he's playing wrestling. What about Jesse Lingard? Needed more time, says Noggin TV. No. Having two left footers on the right side doesn't work because they both want to do the same thing, says JJ. Oh, he is having a look at it. Wow, I tell you what, I genuinely didn't think we were going to get this. But this is great news for us. This is, I mean, look, this is controversial. I genuinely wasn't sure that was a penalty. I think you see it all the time. If that was going the other way, I'd be like, shut up. But I think we'll get this. It does. Look, I think it's a penalty. I think it's a penalty. It's a stonewall penalty. But honestly, it does happen a lot in the box. But you know what? He could have killed him. Could have killed him. It's the worst penalty I've ever seen. If he doesn't give this, he should be fired. Send him to the Tower of London. It's an absolute penalty. He's got to give it. If he doesn't give it, he's a cheat. Penalty! Get in! Yabba dabba do. Get in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, look, clear penalty. I'm not even going to be fair. I'm not even going to be fair. Forget that. It's the United stand. Not that's football. Penalty, 100%. You see it. You see it in every penalty box, every corner. But you can't argue with it. You can't argue with it. As I said, he thinks he's bloody. He thinks he's the Undertaker. Look. You can't just grab a player and throw him on the floor like that. Give him a red card as well, that's what I say. He's got to score it now. Can you run a poll on whether it was a penalty? Let's just score it first. First goal of the season. Was it a penalty? I'm just going to run the poll. I got to say, I'm very surprised. I will concede this. I'm very surprised VAR has got involved in that. That's all I'm going to say. Because you see that in every penalty box, every game, and they very rarely get given. And they are fouls, but they very rarely get given. So I'm obviously convinced it's the worst penalty I've ever seen, and I can't believe the referee saw it. But I was surprised. I was surprised. We should have had one last week, though. So swings and roundabouts. Here we go. Bruno. Catch it. Oh, God, no. Bruno. What are you doing? He must hate someone in the crowd. What are you aiming at? There must be a hater in the crowd because that's crap. What is he? He never normally goes high. Fucking hell. That is... What is he doing? That's rubbish. He thinks he's bloody Johnny Wilkinson. He's done it on purpose. That is crap. Maybe it's the ball. Maybe the ball's too light. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. What's he doing? What is he doing? He normally goes long. He normally goes and does that pass. He normally walks forward and goes. You don't normally be bloody Chris Waddle. Right, Mount. Mbermo. Fuck. Oh, don't turn into one of them days. Fucking hell. What's he booking Casemiro for now? What's this referee on? Is that too much coffee? You can't book a player for bloody diving in the middle of the pitch. He's not in the penalty box. What are you booking him for that? God, what an idiot. Why book him? Like, there's no point. Oh, I'm getting angry now. It's a good overlap for Bassi. Oh, bloody hell. I thought Binder had palmed it in his own goal again then. This is, I don't need this stress. Corner again. You can see what's going to happen here. I can see what's going to happen here. Was it a penalty? Yes, 61%. No, 39%. Some people are saying justice. Look, you know, you've got to score the penalty, but I think what I would say is that obviously it's a penalty. You know, it's the worst penalty decision it's the worst penalty foul I've ever seen. But no, seriously, like you see that every corner. They'll be doing it here now. I'd be really worried. In fact, if I was United, I'd be very careful because we will do what they did. And in the Liverpool-Newcastle game tomorrow, they'll be doing it. It happens all the time. You literally can't be giving penalties for that because it does happen about... In fact, there might be 2 or 3 people doing it for every penalty. So I was very surprised that VAR got involved. But Bruno's thinking about Saudi again, says Pablo. Here we go. Cross comes in. It's right on the keeper again. And he flaps at it again. He's flapping at it like a penguin. He can't fly. Oh, he's so bad on crosses. Count Dracula. Why is nobody protecting him? I mean, I've got to question what we're doing on corners because we're leaving him on his own, marked by a bloody Fulham player. Somebody like De Ligt's got to go in and go, you know, move him out of the way. Can we stop with the Mount false 9 experiment and get our 70 million striker on already? Says Ferg. I want to see him on at half time. Why don't they show the refs the angles we get on TV to help them? Would have made things so much quicker and easier, says Luke. Oh, I know. It was a terrible angle, wasn't it? Gives me the low open net miss with Ten Hag vibes, says I72 Gaming. Here's Dorgu. Should have booked Bruno instead, says Carlo. 100 million looking really good right now, says Azur. Can't believe Bruno missed, says the Wands Arena. Furious, not the circumstances, but I think we let Bruno off this one time. Never seen him miss a pen. I'm so confident when he takes a penalty. Just been bullied off the ball there a little bit. Which one of you's kicked a ball through my window on King's Road, says CV. This better not be what I see. I just realised what you're on about there. VAR decision, sell Bruno to Saudi, says VAR Detroit. This better not be what our season is like, says Bill. Looked like an NFL kicker there, says Sully. He was aiming for Saudi, says Taylor. Keep the jokes coming in. Last time Bruno was linked to Saudi, he played shit too, says Scott. And sell Bruno and sack Amram, says Shub. You have to go too far. Club's curse, says Jeffrey. Ball don't lie, says Zach. Bruno's mind's in Saudi. I'm telling you, when has he ever took a penalty that bad? When has he ever took a penalty like that, Jim? He normally goes low. I can understand him missing low, but he doesn't normally go high. Bin him off to Saudi, says Nemanja Savic. Send him to Saudi now, says Truck. A lot of passing backwards from Ahmad, says Lou. Swami says it's WWE wrestling. Where was the VAR check last week, says Icon. And there's another chance here for Fulham to whip across right in on Bayinda. Ref put Bruno off walking into him. Watch it back and see the change in attitude. Angry Bruno, says Ella. Bruno go immediately, says Time. Mate, he's just missed a penalty. I don't think it means we've got to sell him. Just surprising that he missed. Anyway, 2 minutes to go to half time. Whipped corner. Oh, they went for an overhead there, Muniz. After the Arsenal game, teams will now target our keeper. That's going to be good header away by De Ligt. You don't want to concede first in this game. Has Mount touched the ball yet, says Gav. I mean, Mount's done okay when he's got the ball, but we need a bloody striker on. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Fulham on the attack. I mean, to be fair, bar the first 10 minutes, we've not been that good. Oh, Dorgu, don't put it out for a corner. We're crap at corners. Luckily, he mishit it and it hasn't gone out for a corner. Across the back post. Ahmad wins the header. And Mbeumo misses the clearance. Cross comes in. Oh, not another bloody corner. How many corners have they had? Got more corners than a bloody square. Got to get Sesko on second half. I'm going to put a message in. Oh, God. Got in laughing emojis from twats on WhatsApp. Right. Binder. It's right in on you again. He's so shit at crosses. Good block by De Ligt. Binder is bloody awful on crosses, isn't he? He really is. An absolute... He's like a deer in a bloody cage full of lions. He's absolutely shitting himself. He's all over the place. It's like a plastic bag in the wind. No coordination. I mean, look, I think he's done okay, apart from corners. Thank God for De Ligt. Bruno eats. Bruno took it light when Ollie was under pressure. There's a lot of people getting comments in. I'll come back to them at that. Todd, thanks for joining the members club. De Ligt's been great again, says Deepak. I think Yoro's been good as well. And here we go again. Our attack is at a standstill. Why can't we make runs and open up their defence, says Frederick. I would like to get Dorgu in the game a little bit more, you know. Anton, thanks for your super chat. Bruno took it like when Ollie was under pressure, says C. Rude. The goalkeeper and Bruno need replacing, says Oliver. Well, we're about to hit half-time here. I'm going to have to sit down. You've got to score those penalties, you know. You know, away from home, you've got to score those penalties. Pickles says Bruno Heat's calling the long way. If Jimenez comes on, Man United are screwed. He'll bully and pepper the goal with headers, says J.K. Worthing. Bruno's penalty has been found in Ipswich, says Samuel. Heads in Saudi, says Tarun. Bruno wants to be a kicker for the Atlanta Falcons. And Amma says new Saudi reports are obviously bothering Bruno. That's half time. Let's have a sit down. I'll join you down there. Come on, everyone. Let's calm down. Half time. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Welcome to the United Stand on YouTube. And if you are on Twitch, you can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime. The link's in the chat there. I mean, look, my assessment is this. I really do want to have a quick look at the stats because it will feed me knowledge, which I do like. But my feeling is, actually, I should say it before I look at the stats. I think it's now become a very equal game. 50-50. Shots are pretty much 50-50. Shots on target are 50-50. They've had more corners. I think, yeah, I was sort of thinking about it a moment ago. I don't want to kid myself that we're the better team. I think in the first 5 minutes we could have scored. And I think with the penalty we should have scored. And I don't think Fulham have had a clear-cut chance. But really, the balance of the game has become very equal. And we shouldn't kid ourselves that we're on top, because I don't think we are. I thought the first 5 minutes we were really fast out of the traps. We showed a lot of intensity. Maybe we could have scored through Cunha a couple of times. But from 10 minutes to the end of the game, end of the half, it's been very equal. Obviously, the penalty, maybe a bit fortuitous, but you've got to score it. So it's frustrating. 16 Zach, Andrew 2293 and Jeremy, thanks for subscribing on Prime. You're absolute legends. Changes have to be get Šeško on. The interesting thing is, and I'm going to say something controversial, is Mount's not done too bad. Put Mount where Mbeumo is, take Mbeumo off and put Šeško up front. Like, I'm not saying Mount's been bad, but into striker. Cunha, we're not getting on the ball enough now. We got him on the ball loads in the first 15 minutes. Now we're not getting him on the ball. It's almost like we've discarded what we were doing well in the first 10 minutes and reverted to the long ball again. Mount, Cunha and Mbeumo are never going to get on the end of long balls. That's not what they are. They need ball to feet. And we've started to ignore that from the first 10 minutes. I know it's early days. The Mbeumo-Ahmad relationship is not working because it's new. They need to play together more. But you've got to get a striker on. If we're going to hit long balls, get a big striker on. And hello, we've got one on the bench. So get Šeško on now, and maybe he can change the game. We haven't scored a goal yet in the Premier League. We should have scored with Bruno, but we haven't scored a goal yet. It's still a very equal game, but I worry about this. I do worry about this because it could end up being a scenario where they get a scrappy goal from a cross. I mean, Binder on crosses is you know, it's like taking a breadstick to a sword fight. It's scary. He's done well in other areas, but those corners, like, if they were Arsenal, I think it would be 3-0. If Fulham were good at corners, they'd be 3-0 up. So, yeah, get Šeško on, definitely. Seraf, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Right, let's have a look at some of your comments. Mbeumo, Ahmad and Bruno all seem a bit off, says PK. Over and over again, we turn up for top 6 clubs, and the next week on a game we should absolutely be able to win. We simply play poor football, says Andre. I think there are players out there that are playing well, and there's players out there that are playing below well. Bruno's off it today. I mean, that was not even the penalty miss. Remember when he had the ball in the midfield on the right-hand side? Play a simple pass to Ahmad, simple ball into Mbeumo, whack 660 yards out for a bloody throw-in. That's just not disciplined. So Bruno's not doing well. Casemiro's a bit meh, and he's got booked for diving. So the midfield's not performing again. And Mbeumo's been a little bit off. Ahmad's been a little bit off. We're not utilising the left-hand side enough with Dorgu. I think when we get Cunha and Mount on the ball, they look on it. And I think, again, De Ligt and Yoro look good. Luke Shaw's been okay. So there's some good players and there's some underperforming players. Nick says that Mbeumo looks bad at dribbling. Bruno is a joke for that. Crying about the official, then blazes the shot over. Cunha scores that easily, says Nick. I don't know why he went high. He never normally goes high. And he did. And I don't know what that was all about. Jeb, thanks for subscribing. And Elliot as well. Tendency to rage. Appreciate you too. Bruno and Mount off for Mainu and Šeško, says Foot. He will never take Bruno off though. That's the problem, isn't it? Bruno used to jump before he hit the penalty, forcing the keeper to show what he's doing. Why has Bruno changed his penalties, says Frederick. That was not a normal Bruno penalty. And, you know, we can overanalyze it. Maybe he was just a little bit lax. Maybe he, you know, in a game like that, away from Fulham, you've got to make sure you score the penalty. It's not the time to try a new penalty out. He doesn't normally do that. Again, Bruno plays crap after Saudi talk, says Mud. Once the ref bumped into him, walking off, I knew, says Boy Wonder. N says, we played well, but no goal once again. About as clinical as a sack of potatoes. No team is as nervous as his fans on corners, and that can't be. Send him to the Saudi League, says Z3 Music Official. Not good for Ahmad as well, says Deepak. Midfield has been dead again. I agree with that, TK. Saudi news coinciding with another Bruno stinker, says Muyad. My God, I miss Schmeichel on set pieces, says Lazy. Bruno off, Cobby on. Obvious Bruno's head isn't at it, says Toad called Rory. An underconfident keeper really affects the overall confidence of the defence, says Sahaj. I don't know what we're doing on corners. I really don't know what we're doing on corners. We're just leaving him on his own. And you know what? I think they've tried to not complicate it. They've tried to take players away from him and told him to come and punch it, but he's just very nervous on it. Bruno's a liability, says Jeffrey. We're a mid-table team, says Henry. Fernando, welcome to the Members Club. Binder has to come off, says Matthew. Mount off, Šeško on, and after penalty, Bruno should go as well, says Christian. We need to defend our keeper on corners, says 44 Mad, and we are horrific at defending corners, says Alex. Penalty aside, Bruno holds the system back, says AJ. Why are our strikers not taking penalties, says Chad. I mean, I've got a problem with Bruno taking the penalty. I'm just watching it back now. Why is he getting moody at the referee there? The referee accidentally goes into his back and he's losing his shit. Like, it's not that deep. How the hell is he a professional goalkeeper, says B16. Same old nervous United. We've got to run the ball, says Aditio. The lit's been solid again, says Deepak. Yes. I mean, I'm just looking at the chance for Cunha here. If that goes in, it's a different game. If the penalty goes... You know what? You've got to get ahead in this game. It's as simple as that. I said that, didn't I? At 0-0. You've got to score first in this game. Whoever scores first will get something out of it. Bridge82, thank you very much for subscribing. And thank you for your lovely message. Congratulations on your success. Love that. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, look, I think the obvious change is to get Šeško on. But it's not just that simple. I would just flag this. Casemiro is already on a yellow card. Like, bad luck, whatever you want to call it. We don't want to be in a situation where we're losing a player for a red card. And he's not playing particularly well either. So I would be looking at the Casemiro position. Maybe you bring Manu on. Maybe you bring on... maybe Ugarte, but I think Casemiro you've got to look at as well. Obviously, one of the number 10s has got to come off. I wouldn't be surprised if he took Mbeumo off, really, and brought Xerxes on too. I think that there is a stance that could be taken there. I've not been massively impressed with Fulham. Nothing against Fulham, but I don't think that they're a huge... issue if we can calm down a little bit, you know? I think it's but we, you know, it's a shame. I said before the game, I don't care how we play in the game as long as we win, and that's why that penalty's got to go in. But we did start off well, and you know, you want to score from one of those as well. We haven't scored a goal yet, and we've got a £67 million striker on the bench. Get him on the pitch. Get him on the pitch. Get him on the pitch. Have a focal point. You can hit your long balls as much as you like then. What happens if we lose? Well, I've already said that. Arsenal have won. Spurs have won. Chelsea have won. No one really cares about Man City. So we will be the big story. All the call-ins. The Amrim out crew. I don't want that. Like They Love says, our first 10 minutes were brilliant. And, you know, you need to put the ball in the back of the net when you get those chances. Do you think you'll see Šeško at half-time? Honestly, I think United are run by laptops now. And I don't think we necessarily will see him at half-time. I'd say he'll come on at about 60 to 70 minutes again. But I would do it now. Because the problem is, in a game like this, if Fulham score first, you're going to struggle to win. And you know, a draw isn't, I don't want to be arrogant, but a draw isn't really the sort of result that makes you finish the weekend going, that's a good point. We cannot concede first. If we concede first, we probably won't win the game. So get him on now. Dan Champ, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. You can do that for free if you've got Amazon Prime. Give it to Mike. He says that's 135 minutes without a goal. It's embarrassing. It can happen, though. It can happen. Cunha and Delit, my man of the match, says JB. I want to see Šeško at half-time. Bruno needs to tidy up his act, says Aradia, as I am sure Amrim won't sum him off. Last time Bruno went high, Villa at home, skied it, says Matthew H. Alex says, hi Mark, I'm as nervous as Bienda with a cross coming in. What do we need to do? Well, we need to sign a new goalkeeper, to be honest with you. Yeah. Bradley, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. What squad or formation change would you make at half-time? I put a striker on. And, I mean, look, dare I say it, Rasmus had a pre-season. We could have been using him while Šeško wasn't fit. Like, I wish we had a striker up front. Obviously, Xerxes can't play because he's not fit. But Rasmus did play pre-season. And whether he's going to Napoli or not, he could have started the season up front, and I think it would have helped us to have a striker. Just get Šeško on. I think it will change the game. He's so big. He's going to play right on the last man. You can hit him with the long ball. I think it's really important that we do that. It's hard. It's hard to 64 kids. Thank you very much for subscribing. It's really hard to play with a false nine as well, and we're a team that struggle with the basics. So simplify it as much as you can. And worrying thing is, Ahmad might be a 10-2 in this system, and Mbeumo loves an overlap, and he had Delo last game. Says Searit. Look, I don't want to overstack problems, but it ain't working down the right-hand side at the moment. You can choose to make that an issue, or you can do what I'm doing and saying, look, it's going to take a bit of time. Ahmad hasn't really played as a right wing back with Mbeumo before, and I think it might take a little bit of time. But look, no, there's no doubt about it. It's a bit disjointed down that side. The fair comparison would be, apart from the first 5 minutes, we haven't utilised Dorgu. I mean, in that first 5 minutes, I was like, here we go, Dorgu's looking really, really good again. And then for the last half an hour of the game, we don't use him. My problem with Bruno, it's not him. He could be complete crap for multiple games. You know already he'll start every game. This is Maxime. Trying Mainu here would work with Ahmad, says Naman. And ego got in his way when he backed into the ref, says Mike. Honestly, I do not know why that is such an issue for Bruno. It was pedantic. It was arrogant. It was strange. I don't understand why it was such an issue that a referee accidentally backed into him. And you know what? It got in his head. And I don't know why it did. It was almost like the referee knocking into him upset him, so he decided to blast the ball, and he lost all composure. And I agree. It's really weird. SNXM, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Surely you can't give Bruno a free roll. He isn't good enough. The whole shape suffers, says Dull. The goalkeeper situation is frightening, and Bruno's been awful with his whingy style, says PJ. It was immature from Bruno, says Sam. And no striker starting for the second game in a row. 45 minutes played and no goals, says Ross McRae Magician. I mean, that's an interesting way of looking at it. We haven't started a striker for a game and a half, and we haven't scored for a game and a half. It's Willow says, back to reality. United from last season in full effect. Won't win Premier games with back fives and 2 holding midfielders, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. We need 2 midfielders before a goalkeeper, says Shoab. And don't worry, we always score at Fulham. We've won our last 8 games at Fulham, by the way. Bienda looks like he's on ice on corners, says Mitchell. Could we try Mount in the centre midfield role, says Carlos. I think if you, to be honest with you, if you put Mason Mount where Bruno is, he won't hit 60-yard passes. I'll give him that. So glad we turned down Saudi to watch Bruno put in a 5 out of 10 performance, says Azure. And Cobby should sub in. Why did Sesko not start, says Nathan. Structural Mastery says, Bruno's number 1 enemy is his haircuts. No, sorry, his emotions. That haircut's like Will off the podcast. Will Brazier. Stole it from him. Someone get Will. Your haircut's been stolen by Bruno. Bruno trying to play bad to force a move out. And we're about to start the second half here. I'm going to stand up. Still moaning now. He's still got a miserable face now. Why am I doing the moving desk when I need to start the bloody timer? That was not a good idea. Come on, lads. Let's start the second half well. No subs, of course. We knew that would be the case. And there we go. Rex, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate that. Joe B says, I've just put my life savings on Fulham scoring from a corner. Why are you stunned, Mark, says Mr. Mortimer. Ref bumps into Bruno and it's done. He's rattled angry and misses the penalty. Rubbish. Petulant, I'm fuming. Kieran says, I don't think Mbeumo looks like himself either. Thanks for all your super chats there. I think we've caught up on those. Let's hope we can get the win in the second half. Please do subscribe if you're watching, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. And don't forget, I'll get a couple of bits up on the screen for you now. We've got a fantastic offer with BoohooMan, who are sponsoring the stream today. You can get 10% off anyway with the code Goldbridge across the website. Get yourself some nice t-shirts like this, etc. And that works on anything that's discounted. But the big thing is, the link's in the video description, or you can scan the QR code. They've got an £800 voucher exclusively for one of you. All you've got to do is register, and we'll be announcing the winner in due course. So get involved. £800 voucher to spend. Thank you very much to BoohooMan. Lost me live chat. Should I drink a beer, says Goldbridge United? I'm going to have a glass of red later on tonight, I think. Bruno lacks mentality and IQ. We should have sold him, says Devi. And Saudi bid came in the final. Bruno played bad. Now Saudi's come again and he's bad again, says JC. Bruno got angry and thought he was Wazza, says Ethan. Nothing is better than last year. The tactics basic, it hurts. Not a single good ball into the box. Why is it so hard, says Marlowe. Is Bruno really that fragile, says Adrian. Well, here he is again. I mean, look at where Bruno is here. Positionally there, he's all over the place again. I mean, he's done well, but he's on the right wing. Then he's in number 10. I just think positionally, he's just really being given a free role in the Premier League. And I just don't think it's going to work. I mean, look, we've got a corner from it. And I don't think people understand that, you know, it doesn't make him a bad player. But the free role, it just doesn't. I don't understand how one of the midfield two can have a free role. Costa's against Arsenal too, says Odyssey. Pogba must have used some magic and cursed us. We can't be this bad at finishing. Well, let's see if we can score from a corner here. Corner to United. We've got some big lads in the box. De Ligt, Yoro, Casemiro. Bruno's on the corner. That's a good corner. And it's headed away. Ahmad into Mount. Into Ahmad. Shot straight at Leno. At least it's a shot. Why are we not learning how to defend the corners, says Anup. Is it that difficult? JB says Amrim or Graham Potter survived this year. I mean, I don't know why people are talking about Amrim getting the sack. We're not losing 4-0, mate. We've missed the penalty and we should be winning this game. Bruno lacks mentality and IQ, says Devi. Here's Cunha. We've got to get Cunha on the ball. Good tackle, Ahmad. How do others in the team fulfill their positions when Bruno comes flying into their space, says Matthew? That's what I mean. I mean, that's exactly what I mean. It's all right, people going, oh, he's here, there and everywhere. But when he's on the right wing, he's in Ahmad's space. When he goes into the number 10, he's in Mbeumo and Cunha's space. When he goes out on the left, he's in Dorgu's space. It's not... People get impressed by the ability to run around all over the place, but the lack of discipline isn't just what you leave behind by leaving your space. It's the chaos you cause by going into others' space. It's hard to build a structure when you've got somebody in a free role. Fulham cannot score first in this game. We've got to score first. Got to stop giving up corners as well. Don't concede a corner. Good play, Yoro. Casemiro, I was heart in mouth again there, slid in towards Sanderberg, was never going to get there, and thankfully Sanderberg didn't take the tackle because it would have been a second yellow. There's the cross in the box. God, cleared by Bruno that time. Marky, we Spurs can take Bruno off your hands, says CCM. I hate these stupid run-up players do to take a penalty, says Simon. This system really struggles against the low block. In attack, we look very clueless, even against Arsenal, says Bradley. Been watching the channel for a long time. Currently holidaying Texas. How's United playing? Good play by De Ligt again, but it's going to go for a bloody corner. Fasten your seatbelts. There we go. Sesko's coming on. And Delo's coming on. Oh, no. That means he's going to take off Ahmad. I worry about Ahmad. If Ahmad's not going to get given time and he's going to get subbed off for Delo, what's Ahmad's role in this team? Thankfully, that's not gone for a corner because it looked like it was. I feel like Mainoo would do very well in this side, says Sebastian. I hate these stupid run-ups, done that one as well. I think this probably was a corner. It came off Luke Shaw, but we got away with one there. Could be Mbermo coming off. I think it'll be Mount and Ahmad. Yeah, Ahmad's off. He'd be pissed off. I'll just put it out there and I'll say it on here. I do worry about Ahmad. He's gone from being one of our best attacking players to having to learn to be a right wing back. Hopefully it'll work. Without a pointed man, Fulham defence is moving upwards and causing problems, says Jocelyn. Well, hopefully now with Šeško on the pitch for a long time. Here's Cunha. Come on. Yeah, hopefully with Šeško on the pitch now, we've got that focal point. Matthew says Bruno's getting pissed off with the ref. X1 Pug says Ahmad's overrated. I mean, I think he's going to struggle to play as a right wing back away from home. TK says Casemiro and Bruno having a competition to see who loses the ball the most. Bruno shouldn't be captain, it should be De Ligt, says PJ. Don't you think that Arteta's Arsenal is just Pochettino's Tottenham? That's probably one of the weirdest comments I've ever seen, Lewis. I generally don't. Lovely turn here by Yoro. Good recovery tackle by Yoro. I tell you what, that's pace. That was lovely play by the Fulham player, but Yoro, what a tackle. What a recovery tackle. Really good. I tell you what, he had to make the recovery as well, because if he hadn't, he was going to get clipped up big time. And he did really, really well. So did King. I mean, what King does here is really good. Look, little flick over the top. Yeah, it's really good by Yoro, that. Really good. Yeah, brilliant defending. Really good. Why did he take Am off? He offers much more, says Joe. I think he's took Ahmad off for what somebody said at half-time. It's that natural overlap that might help Mbermo having a natural right footer. Got two left footers on the right-hand side, and it can be problematic, can't it? Bruno and Mason in the midfield is crazy, says Aditio. As he took Casemiro off. Fucking hell, I didn't even see it. Yeah. Jesus. Well, it's attacking. What you give up in defence, you make in the midfield. Didn't think we'd see Mount and Bruno in the midfield, says Robert. Well, might work. Let's reserve judgment. Sean says, I don't understand the Ahmad obsession. I would much rather see Delo. Ahmad is not a wing-back. Clearly people have made this myth that Delo is crap. Well, I've said before, Delo will play a lot of football at Man United because don't give a corner up. Fucking hell. You know what? If this ends up with a goal, Mount and Luke Shaw fucking up and have just gifted a corner in the most stupid way possible. If this ends up being with a goal, I give up. Because that is the cheapest corner. We may as well just give them a corner for free. Evan P says, chat is being a bit self-loathing. Stay positive, get a winner. Get Maguire on to help with the corners, says Sue. Get Casemiro off, says Eduardo the 5th. He is gone. Are we questioning Bruno or Amrim about the Bruno box-to-box roaming role? Amrim wants one pivot player against weaker teams, says Humphrey. I feel like Mainu would do well. Thank you. It's a crap corner. And Binder actually gets hold of that one well. Thank God for that. Can't be giving up cheap corners like that. Another long ball. I mean, long balls to Mbeumo aren't the thing. Long balls to Sesko. Here we go. Here is Sesko. Cunha. Nice ball out to Delo. Right, whip it. That's a corner. That's a reason to get Delo on as well. Natural right foot cross. Natural left foot cross. Sesko. Last time we lost at Craven Cottage, Sir Alex was here, by the way, says HC. Yeah, 8 wins in a row. Faris says that 100 million rejection of Bruno from Al Hilal will forever haunt me. One of the worst decisions the club has made. Would you date Lily Phillips, says Gwab. No, I wouldn't. Not in a million years. I'm happily married, thanks. Here comes the Bruno Mount pivot. Back post. Goal! 1-0! And it's Lenny Yoro, a defensive piece of brilliance to stop a Fulham attack. And at the other end, he's scored. Is this the guy that's going to secure man of the match in the space of 5 minutes? As I said, an absolutely world-class recovery tackle a few minutes ago. And he gets a header. It didn't look like it was the cleanest connection, but it's in the back of the net. Muniz doesn't look happy. We're waiting for the replay, but it's 1-0 to United. And it's Lenny Yoro who right here, right now, is putting in a man of the match performance for United. Right when we need it. We needed this. We needed a bit of positivity. The cross comes in. A bit of a push on Bassi. You don't get a foul for that. You don't get a foul for that. And to be honest, the header was not going in. It's gone in off the back of Muniz. It might go down as an OG. But they all count. They all count. And Mbeumo corner as well. Again, another good corner from Mbeumo. We saw that in the pre-season. Get in. 1-0 to United. They all count. We needed that. Marco Silva's asking for a foul. You don't get a foul for that, mate. You won't get a foul for that. No, you don't get a foul for that. We're playing on 1-0. Look, that's probably, you know, I understand people moaning about it because we got a penalty for a little bit of something, but you don't get fouls for that. You don't get a foul for pushing a player away. It's weak defending, not a foul. If you're given a foul for that, the game's gone, truly. Of course, it's Lenny Yoro. Get in there. Absolute class today, says Thomas. It's fantastic. We've got more set-piece takers other than Bruno. Less pressure on him, says Daniel. And United, says Kent G. And if we did move Bruno and Casemiro this summer and did sign Belaber and Wharton, where would this creativity come from, says Bradley. Well, let's kick on and get the second goal now. We've got that first goal. It's so important to get that first goal in this game. First goal of the season as well. I don't know whether it's gone down as a Yoro goal or as it will go down as an own goal because it didn't look like it was on target, but it doesn't matter. Nice ball into Delo. Good first touch. Leno gets hold of it. Well, Fulham are going to have to open up a little bit now, and hopefully that's going to lead to more space. I wonder if you take Mount or Bruno off now because of you need defensive. I mean, midfield's all over the fucking shop here. Oh, Yoro. How's the ref played on there? Oh, fair play, ref, playing on. I genuinely thought that was a foul. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this midfield. Good cross into the box. Muniz gets up on Yoro. If you can push the keeper, you can push the defender, says I'm powered by Honda. Exactly. Exactly. To be fair, he wins the ball. Won the ball. Look. Wins the ball. We need to keep Yoro until he retires, says I720 Gaming. Generational, says Sadiq. Judah, welcome to the Members Club. Of course, it's Lenny Yoro, says Thomas. It's fantastic. We've done that one, haven't we? Thank you very much. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. They're about to make a substitution here. Castagnier for Anthony Robinson. I mean, the best left-back in the league last year with Kirkez, but he is only just coming back from injury, so hopefully he won't be that good. Wilson and Robinson on. I just think at this point I would probably bring on a midfielder. We've got the goal. And why play Bruno and Mount in the midfield? They're going to have a go at us in this last half an hour, you know. I really would like to get the second goal. Somebody did say at the start this game's got 1-1 written all over it. Well, I don't want 1-1 written all over it. I want 2-0 written all over it. Maybe 3-0. So I'll throw in that. How much was the ref, says S. Is Mount in midfield a message to the board to get more, says Kieran. Hi, Mark. On the ESPN app, they gave it to Yoro, says K-Ray. They've given it to Yoro on the BBC as well. If the header was going in, it doesn't matter. If it's going wide, it's an own goal. It was going wide. It's an own goal, that. I don't know why it's not been given as an own goal. If you've got Yoro and FPL, well done. But watch out. Unless they've changed the rules, it used to be if the shot's going in, you get given the goal. If it was going wide and it's deflected in, it goes as an OG. If you can push the keeper, you can push the defender, says I'm Powered. Thank you very much. I feel like it doesn't get stated enough, but our defence is actually good. Where do you think it ranks in the league, says Rash? I said it last year, mate. I think the goalkeeper and the midfield weaken our defence, but I actually think the actual centre-backs are good. I thought Mazraoui last season, Maguire, De Ligt, Yoro. I thought they had a good season, but they were in a team that were let down by the goalkeeper in the midfield and sometimes the wing-backs. 58 Go says it was a foul. Oh, that's well timed as well. Cup of tea. Do you think it was a foul? No, I don't think it's a foul. I see it all the time. Arsenal do it every week. Love my God says Bruno is great. Do not hate him. Binder looks uncomfortable. Scuffing easy passes, says Alec. We definitely need to get a midfielder. I completely agree. When Fulham has a corner, it looks like Binder tries to catch a beach ball, says Espen. Lemens is needed ASAP, says Jordan White. So's the full-time whistle. I'd just take 1-0 now. Good play by Shesko. Oh, it was a bit of a overhit pass to Dorgu, to be fair. Welshman here. Wilson's dangerous on set plays, says Matthew H. Apparently, Fulham have got the most points from losing positions since last season, including last season. PJ Moel apparently bending over backwards. Mate, I couldn't give a shit. We need to win. But I genuinely don't think it's a foul. Goalkeepers get shoved like that all the time, like somebody's already said. Arsenal do it every week on corners, so do other teams. You know, if you're going to give a foul for that, you're going to give a lot of fouls in a game of football. Good play by Mbumo. Crap ball by Bruno. Again, he's going for the long ball again, isn't he? Just keep it simple. Where is the midfield? Fucking hell. Where's the midfield? They're going to exploit this in a minute. He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot playing Mount and Bruno in the midfield. Look, we might go over the line, but I've seen in the last 5 minutes, both of them out of position. You've got to get someone just to sit there. We're 1-0 up. It's 3 points. It's the Premier League, and it's 3 points. There's another runner there. Corner. Look, we can win the game with Mount and Bruno in the team, but I'd be a lot happier if we put Mainu on just to sit there and give us a little bit of expertise. Another corner. Keegan, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Here we go. Agate's coming on. Exactly. Well done. Yeah, he's seen it. He's seen it. Corner comes in, headed away, edge of the box, Iwobi, and that's over the bar. Hi Mark, if you could only have one before the window closes, would you get a holding midfielder or a goalkeeper? I'm not having one. I want 2, but I don't know. I mean, look, the honest answer is you do need both because it will leave us weak in both areas. Yeah, Mount off. Good. He's had a good game. I think Mount's been okay again. Said it last week. I think he's done okay. Bruno unsubbable. Well, you know, that's a separate conversation, but yes. Mohammed says, I think the midfield's going to cost us points. Has to come in at either permanent or loan signing. Neville's still saying Yoro fouled because he used 2 hands on the back, says Matthew. Look, there's no doubt pushing someone like that's a foul. I completely agree, but in the context of a corner, it happens in every corner, in every Premier League game. What do you want me to do about it? You know, we can all look at it and say it's a foul, but they don't get given. So it's not... I don't see the problem. If that happened at the other end, I'd say, you know, we won't get a foul for it. Seb says the difference between our midfield and what Bruno did earlier is night and day. Mainu has to be worth looking at on a match day. Holes everywhere. I don't know why, Seb, Mainu can't get on the pitch. I don't know why. And David says at this point, why not loan or sell Mainu if we don't want to use him? Yeah, look, we can all talk about Mainu's a great talent, and he is. And we can all talk about the future. But he was starting for England in the Euros over a year ago. So this is not a 16-year-old with potential. Like, he should be getting some minutes. But it is only game 2. What about Maguire as a CDM, says Mark. Thank you very much. 20 minutes to go. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Remember, we've got the match reaction. Oh, Raul Jimenez is on now. Watch out him. Watch out for him on crosses. Smith Rowe on as well. They're going to attack. Need Agate to come on and do well. Don't forget your player ratings, by the way. You can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We do that on the match reaction show. If I pause that for you for now, all you've got to do is scan the QR code, sign up. Then you're signed up for the season. It's free. Gives you access to the website, and you can mark every player out of 10. 6 is average, star for your man of the match, and you can be involved in the biggest and best player rating system out there. So get involved in that if you've not done it. Yoro's my man of the match at the moment. I mean, match-winning tackle and match-winning goal, hopefully. Although I think Delit's played very, very well. With one of those two again. Why is Agate not starting? Discipline and physical, says Alex. Because he's not been playing that well recently, let's be honest. 3-0 to United. I said it first, says Jonathan. Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it. There's not been as many goals in this game as I thought there would be, actually. That's a lovely ball down the wing for Fulham. That's a lovely cross. Dorgu will deal with it. Well done. I was expecting 3 goals today. I guess you call that a reality check, says Joe. I think if we'd scored that early goal, it might have been different. I mean, I'm just worried about Fulham. Goal. Fucking hell! I just said I was worried about Fulham! I just said it! Smith Rowe. Hugh Grant. 1-1. And it's that simple, isn't it? It's that bloody simple. Another cross into the box. Fulham. I tell you what, if that's a midfielder not tracking Smith Rowe, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to absolutely lose it. Who is not tracking Smith Rowe here? Well, look, watch this. Watch Smith Rowe. Watch Smith Rowe. Oh, watch it. Watch it. I bloody knew it. Look who doesn't track him. Bloody Bruno. It's a bloody midfielder. Bloody Bruno. I knew it. I know football and I know that's going to be on a midfielder. Fucking hell. That's a missed penalty and now a missed runner from the midfield. This is why he needs a bloody midfielder. This is why Bruno doesn't work in the midfield. That's a gimme again. Last week he gives the corner away to Arsenal. Now he's given a goal to Fulham. I tell you what, Fred with a bloody blindfold would have tracked that run. That is basics. This is what I'm talking about when I say about discipline. It's bloody basics. Oh, I tell you what, he has got problems. He has got problems. In that midfield, he has got huge problems and he needs to solve them. You know what? I just hate being right. I'm sure you're the same. I hate being right. He's not a midfielder in the Premier League. He is not disciplined enough. He doesn't know how to track midfielders. He doesn't play the simple pass. He's a number 10 playing out of position. That does not make Bruno Fernandes a bad player. It's like playing Harry Maguire as a holding midfielder. It's like putting Erling Haaland on the wing. He is not a midfielder. Look, people are blaming Delo, this, that and the other. There may well be issues in the build-up, but if you can't see where Smith Rowe is and who should track his run, then trust me, my friend, football is not for you. It's there in 4K. He's on the edge of the box, Bruno's looking at him, and Bruno just lets him go. If Bruno goes with him, like a Roy Keane would, or a Rodri would, or a Kovacic would, or a Declan Rice would, you go with the run, it's a goal kick or a corner. You let him go, it's 1-1. It's really that simple. People are trying to blame Luke Shaw. I think from the midfield, it's really difficult as a defender to track a moving object because they've got a run on you. The midfielder has to go with the runner because they are tracking the run. Bruno should have been out, not Mount, says CJ. Humphrey says, the Bruno narrative is strong on this channel. This is how McFred narrative was born and why we lost Scott. Amrim knows his players and sacrifices Bruno from a 10 to an 8. Humphrey, get your tissues out, get your Bruno picture out and go and have a good time. Because you don't understand football, mate. You're not listening. I like Bruno Fernandes. If you watch the channel, I like Bruno Fernandes. I want him to play as a 10. We did this with Wayne Rooney years ago. We put him in the midfield. He's not a midfielder. He is being played out of position. Nobody's saying that Bruno's a crap player. I don't think he's crap. I think he's our best player. But he's being played out of position. We'll probably bloody lose this game now. We've lost all momentum. I don't want Amrim to get this wrong. But I said it in the summer. This is going to be a contentious issue that he has to get right. He's got to get Bruno being a midfielder right? Because a lot of us think it's wrong. And already in 2 Premier League games, he's cost us 2 goals. Or he's had a direct correlation with 2 goals. Unfortunately, this is on the manager. Like it is. I don't want it to be on the manager. I want to back the manager, but he is making a mistake. They're in again here. Oh, Jimenez, just wide. I think the points are gone here. I think the points are gone up here. Delo at fault. It's been terrible since he come on. No, he's not at fault, Dan. He may be at fault, but he's not at fault. You know, listen to what's being said. Just sell Bruno. Needs to kick up the arse, says Bounty Hunter. Same shit, different day. Give me a midfielder, says Pascal. Amrim sacking himself, says Rub. Bring McFred back, says Aditio. Delo and Bruno at fault, says Raz. United's tactics. Find a way for Bruno to play, says Love Hate Games. I mean, look, maybe there's a fair point that he should have been took off. Don't forget to do your player ratings, by the way. I think they're going to be very interesting. Amrim's loyalty to Bruno may be his downfall, says David. That's on Delo. Horrible turn when he had time and gave up possession in a terrible area, says Alec. Yeah, but you know what, Alec? It wasn't one person's fault. If Bruno tracks the runner, you bollock Delo for losing the ball. It's not all on Delo, is it? Like, if Bruno tracks the runner, the goal doesn't happen. And you moan at Delo. Delo, worst player all last season as well, says Chris. This is not a coincidence. Every time he's mentioned in a corner, game is thrown. Spurs now today. Never thought I'd see the day. Ricky was right, says Swami. So frustrating to watch, says Miguel. Bruno's not a midfielder, says Zeno. What on earth is Delo doing, turning into a defender, says Tom. We should try Martinez as a CDM. He's injured. It's CJR. I don't know whether that's a joke. How is Mbermo playing ahead of Ahmad, says Baz. I was expecting 3 goals today, says Job. Bruno's been Fulham's best player. I thought this cup of tea was going to be well. Oh, look, we just got to not get beat now. Do you think Amrim is the man if he won't adjust his tactics when he hasn't got the players to play his style yet? Says Vamp. Well, I've just put it out on Twitter. How is Mainu not getting minutes when we've got a number 10 playing so bad in his position? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I just think the inevitable Fulham winner is what I'm worried about here. Because they're the better team at the moment. They are the better team. The substitutions they've made have really changed the game. Here's Smith Rowe. Watch out. Dorgu. Wilson. Another sub. They're moving. They're playing so much better than us at the moment, Fulham. That's a great tackle. Oh, no. Smith Rowe. Oh, Agate. Get it out. Get it out. Bruno, get back in the fucking midfield. I'd take a point at this point. Pardon the pun. Back post, watch the back post. No one's marching the back. No, Anthony Robinson cannot be left there. He's played a good, bad pass there. We've got to be bloody careful now. Fulham are playing well. Anthony Robinson's on the pitch. Smith Rowe's got a bloody goal. Sesko's not had a sniff, has he? Not had a sniff again. Brought him on against Arsenal. Didn't put any crosses in the box. Brought him on here. Nothing. I think, unfortunately, as things stand here, the fear we had in the week that we're going to play well against Arsenal and then do what we normally do and not turn up the next week, apart from the first 5 minutes, I think it's in evidence in full force. One. Somebody said this game has got 1-1 written all over it. Well done you. Why don't you go and do the bloody lottery? If you're so bloody smart. Bloody 1-0. Go on then, Boomo. Second ball. How long's left? 10 minutes. Dorgu, come on. Wow, what a touch by Yoro. He's going to give the foul, though. Why can't we put Bruno at 10 and bring Mainu on? Like, if he's got to stay on the pitch, why can't we put Bruno at 10 and bring Mainu on? Take Mbermo off, put Bruno at 10. You know, think outside the box. He doesn't have to play every minute as an 8. Sesko will win it. He's got to get the bloody ball in the box first. I mean, it's all Fulham. Here's Iwobi. Robinson. Another cross into the box. No. Garte. Done all right, actually, since he came on. Don't give up any corners now. Oh, this is lovely play by Fulham. Get rid of it! That's a foul on the edge of the box. Yes. Bruno 100% talking and complaining, says JB. Creativity has gone to 0 since Mount was taken off. Bruno is done, says Herman. Henry T says, I'm so sick of watching this team. I hate to say it, but I'm losing faith in the system for the Premier League. Midfield overrun game after game. The midfield gets overrun because at 1-0, he kept Mount and Bruno on for 10 minutes and we lost momentum. And then he brings Agate on and we've lost the momentum. It's way too attacking in that midfield and you need to lock it down quickly. We got the goal, lock the midfield down. We got the goal, we didn't lock the midfield down and they started attacking and they got the momentum back. And when you lose momentum in football, it's hard to get it back, especially when you're holding on to a lead. They're playing through our midfield now. If he switches the play here, great tackle, Agate. Get up, Agate. Get up. Graveyard shift for Sesko. Yeah, welcome to Manchester United, Stephen. He's not had a chance in... That's a foul. That's a yellow card. Since Mount's gone off, Cunha's been poor, says Graham. Who would have thought playing 4 attacking midfielders would hurt us, says Mario. United think the beginning of the season equals pre-season. Sesko not starting and still waiting on a keeper and a midfielder. Also start Mainu, says Mitchell. I don't understand the Mainu thing. I'll talk about that in the match reaction. Don't forget to do your player ratings. Register there, scan the QR code, you get an email, it's free, and then you can do your player ratings for the season. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Star for your man of the match. Dorgu, whip across, corner. Come on, do it again. Do it again. Yoro. United need to get rid of Shaw, Casemiro, Bruno and Mount and then need another 2 transfer windows to build a proper squad, says Rub. Look, here comes Harry Maguire and heaven. Yoro's coming off. Surely it's for the set piece. It's like an NFL play, this. No, go that end, Harry. Go the other end. Go up for the corner. He's running the other way. No, I think he's running the right way. I'm thinking he's running that way. Up for the corner. Both of you, you're big. This is like an NFL play from Amorim. We've got about 6 big lads in the box. Maguire, Šeško, Heaven, De Ligt. This is it. Bruno, you just got to put a good cross in. Forget about Saudi. Think positive thoughts. It's a good corner. Oh! They've got it out. Gyökeres made the right choice, says Simo. Cunha, another corner. Everybody up. Binder up. This is the best chance we've got of scoring. Set piece FC. Lose faith in Amorim if he continues playing Bruno, says Hypo. Mbeumo's the closest thing to Salah was the biggest joke of the century, says Danny on the glass. The closest thing Mbeumo has to Salah is his beard. I mean, look, mate. Come on, let's calm down. Calm it down. We've got a great chance here. Mbeumo, he's better at corners. Come on, Harry. Harry, De Ligt, Šeško, Heaven. Yoro's not on the pitch anymore. Harry! Oh! It's just wide. I tell you what, people call Arsenal Stoke. We literally, our biggest threat is set pieces. Both ends. Oh, God. Not 2 minutes to go. 1-1. Shove it up your ass. Bloody 1-1. At least we've got Burnley next week. What could go wrong there? Everything. Oh, I ain't taking nothing for granted. I don't want to be that guy, though. I did say Arsenal at home, Fulham away, Burnley at home, Man City away, Chelsea at home. We could have 4 points from 15. Beat Burnley next week, 4. Lose to City and Chelsea, 4 from 15. I did say, you know, it's a tough start to the season if you're not ready. And we ain't ready. This is not... We are treating this like pre-season. We are not ready. Taking some notes. You happy with the draw? No, absolutely not. No, I think it's a fair result. I don't think either team's done enough to win it, but no, I'm not happy with the draw. I'm not surprised by a draw. I think the big concern is the mentality again. You can get up for Arsenal, you can't get up for Fulham. Not for 90 minutes. We put in a 90-minute performance against Arsenal, and we lost because of a mistake by the goalkeeper. Connor says, lucky to walk away with a point. Thanks everyone who's tuned in on Twitch, by the way. Thanks everyone who's subscribed. Appreciate that. You can do it for free through Amazon Prime. There is another chance to whip a cross in here for Fulham. 5 minutes added on. Agate clears it. Thank God for that. Why do you think managers are obsessed with Bruno? I just saw someone say there. Why did we bring 2 centre-backs on? We need a win, says Zyro. What about Xerxes? Amorim system, 2 midfielders can't mark 3 midfielders. One of the 3 centre-backs needs to step up. So the streets will never forget. Sell Bruno and take the cash, says Brad. You do know this Bruno story is not true. I know people are getting excited about it. It's not actually true. We're not even looking to sell him. Well, the mystique of the season's going to rub off if we don't find a winner here. Dorgu. There's still time here. Free kick. This was a must-win game. I'm concerned for Amorim, says Joe. I just think the shine disappears, doesn't it, on the optimism. It's a reality bite. There's something rotten in the club. New players, new manager, same old habits, looking tired, hitting long balls, heads dropped, fans moaning. Biggest club in the world. It's very sad, says Bo. Bruno ruins the system, says Jonathan. Bruno ruined it. Yeah, but you know what? I must say, I like Bruno. I've always liked Bruno. I don't think he's got a bad attitude, blah, blah. I think he's a good player. But good defending by De Ligt. He's going to go for another bloody corner. But he's being played out of position, and who do you blame for that? Yeah, Amrim's got problems. Amrim's got problems, and he needs to realise it. That midfield is a huge problem, and he needs to solve it. And Bruno in that midfield is a bigger problem than Pinocchio's nose when his wife finds nudes on his phone. It's a big problem. Figure it out. That nose is growing, and that midfield problem is growing. He needs to figure it out. I've said it so many times. So many people have said it. He's got a midfield problem that's not going away. Oh! Nearly scored from a bloody corner again. And we have got a goalkeeping problem as well. Does Amrim really not see how Bruno in the midfield kills us? And this is my point. If you put Bruno at number 10, he's not a problem. He's a brilliant player. People don't understand that. They think Bruno's shit. That's not what we're saying. He's out of position. I use context. We did this with Wayne Rooney. We put him in the midfield and everyone went mad. He's not a bloody midfielder. Matthew says, if the manager can't get team selections and subs right, he'll have no credit in the bank. Well, no, this is the thing. I want Amrim to do well. I back Amrim. I want him to do well. I don't want him to be under pressure. But he's putting himself under pressure. You know when we didn't take the money from Al Hilal? What did we say? This is going to come back on him. He's got to get it right. Because most of us just don't think Bruno is a midfielder, having watched him for years at the football club. And Amrim's only been here 6 months and he thinks he is. We watch the Premier League week in, week out. We watch Man United week in, week out for years. Who's right? Who's right today? I don't think Bruno's a midfielder. You don't think Bruno's a midfielder. We're winning 1-0. He's looking at Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe says, I'm going to make this run now. And Bruno goes, well, I don't know what to do. It's not my job. And Smith Rowe scores. So we're absolutely right. He's not a fucking midfielder, is he? He doesn't know what to do. Imagine Captain Bruno trying to get on the lads and motivate when he's playing poor and not tracking the runners, says David. If you remind me in the match reaction, I will talk about Manu because it's a problem. It's worth mentioning. We've won our last 8 games here apparently as well in the Prem. Not today. It's a 1-1 draw. I don't think there can be any complaint. I'm sure Ruben Amorim will be disappointed, but I don't think there can be any complaints in that. We didn't do enough to win the game. I'm sure your player ratings are going to be very interesting. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Scan the QR code and get involved in it. But no, I don't think either team did enough to win it, and I think you've got to take the point. But it's very, very disappointing, of course. Not selling him was a mistake, says Brad. Different striker, same graveyard as well, says Stephen. Yeah, absolutely nothing. You know what? I didn't notice Šeško in that game. And you don't want to burn another midfielder. You don't want to burn another striker on lack of service. It was a shit second half, let's be honest. We scored a scrappy penalty. We scored a scrappy corner. But overall, we were shit second half. We got a goal from a set piece, and that was it. What a good idea to buy a striker. Oh, wait, we had a striker, but no midfielder, says Paul. Bruno is holding his back because of the position the gaffer is playing in. Look, we'll get into this in the match reaction. Just before I go, don't forget, we have got a great exclusive offer for you. The link's in the description, and you can scan the QR code. An £800 voucher with BoohooMan. All you got to do is click the link and register, and it could be you. Right, I'll see you over on the match reaction in a minute. Don't forget to do your player ratings. I'll see you over there shortly.